Golly gee. It's weird lighting. Hey, there we go. That looks better, doesn't it? If you're listening to the podcast, you had no idea how bad the lighting was on my camera. You also can't see that I clearly just shaved and have some razor irritation around my mouth. But hey, what are you going to do? What you're going to do is join in with me. It is Monday night, Monday at 9:28 in the PM. A little later tonight than usual. Oh, what a day, guys. Anyway, you know what? It doesn't matter. The day is pretty much done. I get to hang out here with my buddies online and drink a little beer. Who cares how the day went now? The day is done. It's in the past. I put her down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her? Shout out if you know that story. Hey, we did it, guys. Holding it up for the camera, turning it in my hand because that was not a great presentation of the beer. Black is beautiful. Once again, Imperial Stout. Woo, Nelly. 8% alcohol by volume, made by my friend and yours, friend of the pod, Mary Beth Keefe, and I'm sure the brewing staff at the Granite. But I know for a fact Mary Beth posted a picture of this, and it looked pretty tasty then, and I'm excited to find out what is under the cap. If you are just tuning in for the first time, cool, glad to have you. Interested to know how you got here, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about Black is Beautiful. Black is Beautiful for a moment is what I'm trying to choke out. Black is Beautiful. Remember this one, guys. This is a beer. The recipe was designed by the good folks down at Weathered Soul Brewing in, I think we said VA was Virginia. But then I feel like I heard somebody else say they were in like Texas or something. But I know I looked at the website and it said VA. And it's not Vermont because Vermont does not have an A in it. There's no A in Vermont, but there's an I in team or something like that. Anyway, I think they're from Georgia. But the point is, the Granite Brewery is located at Mount Pleasant at Eglinton, right here in Toronto. One of the OG brewers in the modern craft brewing scene in Toronto here. Ron Keefe, the founder of the Granite, father of Mary Beth, who I mentioned earlier, I think it would be fair to say has done more for craft brewing in this city than I can elaborate on. Clearly, he has helped a ton of people start their breweries. He has advised, he has provided stuff when people were short. He has helped people learn about good English ale and cask beer. He has been a force in the city, and good for him. We are thankful for Ron Keefe and all of his crew at the Granite, family and staff alike. Wonderful, wonderful people. And they've made a Black is Beautiful beer. Now, I know a little bit about this one, but not a lot. I can tell you that Imperial Stouts, which is the style that this beer is, were originally a British style of beer. The Granite doesn't make exclusively English style beers, but certainly for a long time, basically only made English style beers. And even now, most of what they make is at least English-y. Some of it's like tea and biscuits level of British. Their Best Bitter Special, which is one of my very favorite beers of all time, is as British as apple pie, or whatever the equivalent saying there is. British as cheese and pickle sandwich. Gonna have to workshop that one a little. But Imperial Stouts, totally reasonable British style of beer. The interpretation that Weathered Souls put together would have been more of a modern kind of North American style Imperial Stout. But I suspect that the Granite probably leaned pretty heavily into their Britishness in this one. Not least because I know for a fact they use open top fermenters. So literally there's no top on the fermenter. It's like a big pot, basically. Whereas most fermenters are closed and they're vented down a tube into a bucket of sanitizing solution so that the gases that are produced get pushed through the water, but stuff can't get back through the water and up into the fermenter. It's very enclosed. The Granite uses open top fermenters, which is a very traditional British style of brewing. And they tend to use one specific type of yeast called ringwood, very English yeast. Ferocious yeast, and they harvest it. They scoop it off the top of one batch and they move it to the next batch. And I think there are over 1,000 harvests on this batch of ringwood, which is pretty impressive. Good for you guys. I'm done talking to you. Well, I'm not really. It's a podcast. That's kind of the whole point. Oh, terrible pour here. Let's show everybody at home. Here it comes. Look at that. Let's get aggressive. Let's get some head on this. Oh boy. Oh golly. Can you see that on the cameras at home? Hey, look, it's Ontario Craft Beer Week glass. I broke my granite glass a while ago. I'd had it for 12 years. Anyway, the head on this thing is dark khaki. It's a very notably like cream in coffee kind of level of brown. The smell coming out of this glass is insane. I don't want to have to think about this. I just want to sit back and drink it. But guys, that would suck for all of you. So let's do this. Black is beautiful. Imperial Stout. We'll talk about the style in a second. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Mm. Mm. Guys, I might need a minute. Mm. Do you guys be offended if I just stop podcasting right now? Oh my gosh, this is so good. What am I gonna do? Oh, okay. That's stupid. That is just dumb how good that beer is. Ooh. And guys, I'm not loose as a goose right now. Not even a little. No. I had a shower. I shaved. I've had a beer or two, but that is it. This is not chemically induced euphoria. This is just really, really good beer. Want another sip? And I'll talk to you in a minute. I'll be right there. Hold your horses, guys. I got a really nice beer to drink. Okay. Okay, do you want to know what's going on? It's an Imperial Stout, and it's pretty good is what's going on. This thing is big. There's coffee for sure. There's a cola quality, a little medicinal. Leather for sure. A touch of something maybe a little musty, maybe. Could be the grain. Oh, I wonder. Base grain, Maris Otter, maybe. Could be. Maris Otter, if you're following along at home, it's a very traditional British base malt. A lot of people use it. I think the Granite uses it a lot. I know who to ask. Pardon me, but that is something. Maybe a bit of leather and tobacco, but with Imperial Stouts, when I tend to get that, that's when you're moving into like dark rum characteristics, whiskey. It's almost getting spirit-like, and not necessarily barrel-aged. I mean, that obviously will add that too, but just out of the malts. This does not have that. On the finish, there's a little bit of a char, a bit. It's not quite smoky. It's just a little burnt almost, which I'm splitting hairs here, but it's not a lingering thing. It's almost more of a sensation than a taste. Very, very. I was gonna say dry. It's not. The body is fantastic. It's dense. It's quite sweet actually, but there's a hop to it, and I'm guessing they've gone very British noble. The hops are quite leafy, tannic, tea-like, which fits with the whole British idea. I know. Um, Maybe a little spicy. Could be some Goldings like EKG. It could be Styrian, maybe. Very leafy and dry though. Not quite astringent, but very, very hop forward. No. Sorry, not hop forward. The finish has a ton of hop to it. Off the top, this is all coffee and sweetness and some again, not smoke quite. Very dark roast. Fruitiness for sure. That's the yeast. Definitely getting tree fruit, appley maybe a little, but not particularly sweet fruit, not juicy fruit, just a fruity quality, which is I think I would almost guarantee you it's coming off the yeast because it's got an English ale yeast in there. It's interesting. If you told me this was made with ringwood, I probably would have believed you. Ringwood has a very distinctive English ale yeast quality to it, and this is carrying that, but it was a different English ale yeast, and maybe a little less complexity from the yeast than you might have gotten. Hard to say because I haven't had this beer made with ringwood, but I would guess it would be a little bit more yeast forward if you'd made it with ringwood. But that is, what else is going on here? I was so excited I didn't even smell it. On the nose, you get a lot more burnt sugar for sure. Yeah, burnt sugar and milk chocolate. Big time. Smells like dessert. On the palate, more of the same, but you get a big coffee, like roast coffee thing. I think it's coming from the malt. I think they've used a pretty black patent. Oh, but you remember we looked at the recipe together a couple of weeks ago, and I think there was patent malt in it. That would make sense. If you use that too much, you get like ashtray, which is not an attractive taste. But this is not that. It's been used with precision, and it's just added a bit of an ashy quality almost to the malts. It's fantastic. Frightening. Does not drink like an 8% beer. Oh, it's opening up as I'm spending some time with it. Quite a bit of fruitiness, actually. Again, not specifics. Like apples is what I would tend to, but not like a tart apple at all. Not like a stewed apple either. What am I getting here? Oh man, I could just smell this beer all night. I don't need to drink anymore. I do. I want to, but I want to like spritz a bit of this on my neck. It smells so good. Yeah, it's way more chocolate on the nose than I get on the palate. The chocolate quality is there. It's just you get that char, which harkens to like roasted coffee. I don't actually think it's. I mean, there's some coffee to it. I don't think it's particularly coffee-like. I think it's just that char and the malt. I feel like I'm really getting hung up on the malt bill. I know who to ask. Fantastic. Imperial stouts. We've talked about this in the past and stuff. But English imperial stouts are real special. Welly does a nice one. You can get that, I think, year round. Red can imperial stout from Wellington is real good too. And then, of course, the Godfather is from Wells and Young, which I don't think you can get on the reg here. I've had it at actually a beer dinner at Amsterdam. The Wells and Youngs guys and girls came out, and they brought some bottles of it. That Wells and Youngs tastes a lot like this Granite Imperial Stout for Black is Beautiful. This does exactly what you would hope, which is, I need to have a sip. Sorry, 1 second. Weathered Souls, when they created this, said take the recipe, use it, but mold it to your brewery. If you do a thing, do that thing with this beer. And that's what they've done here. Not strictly speaking an English style of beer. The Granite has just been like, okay, well, we're going to do the thing we know how to do really well, which is we're going to English it up. And it is, I worry about using big words about like perfection and stuff, but this is near perfect, if not actually perfect, Russian Imperial Stout, English style, old timey. It's really good. Oh my gosh. What do we do first? Let's talk about food. Russian Imperial Stout and food, man. It's a tough one because this is a really, really major beer. It's great with this. This would go great with dessert, with the right dessert. Obviously, anything with chocolate or smoke or burnt sugar, a chocolate creme brulee, perhaps. But that's all pretty obvious. I don't think we need to, go there. That's like saying, hey, it's hot, go to the beach. I think most people know one from Captain Obvious over here, sticky toffee pudding. Holy moly, that would be good. I always like to think about a main or like especially with an Imperial Stout, it's just too easy to say something dessert. What are you going to eat that would keep up with that? I mean, anytime, I always tell people with stouts and porters, they're good barbecue beer because if you get a bit of a roast smoky quality and you tie that in with the whatever you cooked on the barbecue, you get complementary tastes. So that could be something. Some people, there was a spell there where people were kind of doing this Thai thing with beef. Like a coffee crusted steak or something. That could probably work. Not my cup of tea, but if it's yours, get in there. You know what, guys? Don't worry about it. Have something else with dinner. Just drink this on its own. This beer does not need help. This beer is going to dominate most things you're going to eat with it. Have a little bowl of vanilla ice cream. Don't do a float. Don't get stupid, guys. This beer does not deserve that. But have a little bowl of really nice vanilla ice cream. Perhaps from Ed's here in my neighborhood or in Leslieville or Roncy or wherever the other one is. Wherever you get your Ed's. Have they're nice, beautiful, what do they do? Madagascar, I think, vanilla ice cream. It's perfect. That'd be nice on the side with that. Why? There are some vanillins in here for sure. But I think you're looking at juxtaposition. There's sweetness in both, but the vanilla ice cream is obviously going to be very sweet, very rich, creamy. The stout's just going to cut through all that. They're just going to keep trading off with each other. And I think that'd be pretty good. Man, I wish I had some vanilla ice cream. Anyway, you live and learn. Quick reminder, black is beautiful. This beautiful black, beautiful beer. The love child, no, that's not the right word at all. Anyway, Weathered Souls came up with this, and we're very thankful for that. Love all the breweries that were able to participate in this and make their own interpretations. Also understand the breweries that couldn't. It's a busy time of year. But check out Black is Beautiful. You can check it out on the Instagram. Check out a lot of breweries' interpretations. There are still a bunch in Toronto, and I have only tried 3 of them. So, get it in you. But all the breweries that make this it's part of the project, be donating proceeds from the beer to a local charity that works helping Black, Indigenous and people of color, particularly around legal stuff and interactions with police. I believe if the Granite says, the label says brewed to support justice and equality for people of color. Love that. I know the Granite did say, of course, Black Legal Action Center in Toronto is right now. What did we say? It was the Black Legal Action Center in Toronto. They do a lot of work providing legal representation for people who've had interactions with the police and need legal support. So good for them for doing that. Good for the Granite for supporting that. That is the whole point of this project, is to draw attention to these issues and to provide actual tangible dollars and cents for the charities that are already on the ground doing the work. And we just need to get behind them. They're already there. They just need exposure and they need our help. So, hey, buy some of this beer because the proceeds go towards it. And then consider making a donation yourself if that's something you can do right now, if you're in that sort of a place. And hey, if you're not, that's okay. We get it. It's a real tough time right now. But at the Black Legal Action Center in Toronto. So check them out. And